Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a phenomenal day. It's Trevor Folgering, your metabolic health specialist for men over 40, and it is time for your daily metabolic debrief. Hope you guys are doing well and you're having a great week so far. I just came back from holidays. It was very fun, very exciting. It was really cool. Me and my family traveled to Winnipeg, Manitoba. If you don't know where that is, we need to have a map. But Winnipeg, Manitoba essentially is the capital, or Winnipeg is the capital of Manitoba, which is a province in Canada, which is where we live. And it was great. It was fun. We had a lot of great times. It was really enjoyable. I really did enjoy myself. And there is an actual lesson in actually going on holidays, because I know a lot of you guys are going on holidays very soon because it is August, it is summertime, and a lot of people go on holidays. Okay. And what I want to talk about today is how to actually stay on track when you are on a holiday. And this is really important because this happens not just in summertime, but a lot of times throughout the year, right? We have holidays for all sorts of, occasions throughout the year. And it's really important to realize that life happens, right? There's always going to be something that will throw you off track, right? And it's very important to realize that holidays or vacations or whatever you want to call them are going to happen. And we have to figure out how to navigate them properly so that we stay on track. So we can actually keep losing body fat, keep improving your health, keep improving metabolic stability, because this is a lifetime adventure, right? We're not just doing this for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. We're doing this for our whole life, right? This isn't just for 1 year or 2 years. It's for your entire life. So we have to figure out vacations, right? We got to figure out holidays. And this is really one of the things that I love to teach, because it is very simple to actually be on track. It's not easy, but it's simple, right? So what I mean by that is it's very simple to stay on track on a vacation, right? But it's not easy to do because there's so many distractions. There's so much food. There's so much things that you could do that it could throw you off track, right? So what I always tell everyone is you have to be a good planner. Meal planning, that's the number one thing. So planning out your meals. Now, whether you take food with you or you're going to do some meal prep there or you're going to eat healthy on restaurants, it doesn't matter. But if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So you have to plan your meals out. That's just a non-negotiable, right? So for myself personally, I take food with me, right? Like, yes, we'll do restaurants, but I will take food with me because that's the easiest way to actually make sure that you're in control. So for your food, when you're on vacation, you want to make sure you're in control as much as possible. That word control is very important because you literally can control your metabolism by the types of foods that you're eating. So it's really important. So what I did, took ground beef, spinach, took a lot of different types of meats, protein powder, collagen. I took all of my supplements, everything that you would need in order to stay on track. And so this is really important because if you don't plan things out and you just leave it to chance, you're going to just go willy-nilly, right? You're going to be like, one day you're going to be eating clean, the next day you're not, then you're going to maybe feel guilty, and then you're going to try to eat clean again. It doesn't work, right? We have to be as consistent as possible, right? So if you're going to an all-inclusive, let's say, for example, yeah, there's going to be food there that you could eat that, is not as, on track as you want to be, but you can definitely make better choices, right? So restaurant foods always have great salads, healthy protein, good amounts of fats, right? So, even the, stuff like Subway, right? Subway has great salads. You can actually add avocado in your salad in Subway. I actually did not know that, but once I went to Subway when we were going to Winnipeg, I saw that you could actually add avocado, and it's great, right? So you have healthy fats there. You got protein, you got chicken. So very easy, right? You can actually stay on track when it comes to your meals. So it's very, very important. Okay, so you want to stay on track. That's the number one thing. Meals are very important. There should be non-negotiables. You should plan everything out to the T. And even in restaurants, guys, you should be able to look at a menu and be like, okay, what is the exact thing that I need to order? And you got to look for the healthiest option. Obviously, skip rice, potatoes, bread, those types of things, right? We want to eat as clean as possible, right? We don't want to have any spikes in blood sugar levels or glucose or insulin. Those are the things we want to avoid. Okay, so that's the number one thing. Number two, stress reduction. That's what we all go on vacation for, right? Is to reduce stress, right? And this is one of the things I've learned when me and my family went to Punta Cana was in February of this year. I actually did a lot of talking to myself about reducing stress and making sure that I got up properly with reducing stress, improving, my ability to recover properly, getting my body into a parasympathetic nervous system state, so deep recovery, making sure that I get proper sleep. Those are really important when it comes to vacation, because if you're just going to vacation to just do a whole bunch of things and then your body's not able to recover properly, then you come back from vacation, right? You're kind of stuck behind the 8 ball, right? Your body hasn't recovered properly. You're still sort of like wired, right? But you feel tired, right? You're not 100% recovered. So we need to make sure that even on a vacation, when you're doing lots of different things, you still need that recovery time, right? And I think it's really important to realize that recovery needs to be a part of a vacation. You don't need to lie around on the beach every single day and just do nothing, but recovery means like slowing down, taking a walk, making sure you're doing deep breathing, doing some reading, meditation, stretching, hot showers. I did lots and lots of recovery in a hot tub. We had a hot tub where we stayed in a hotel, and I did lots of recovery in the hotel hot tub, lots of hot tub recovery, did lots of stretching in the hot tub, did lots of meditation, deep breathing in the hot tub. That's where I really got it. That's where I really got the recovery. So vacation, yes, 100%. You really want to focus in on meal planning, meal timing, making sure you get consistent meals, but also the recovery aspect. Make sure you de-stress, making sure you recover properly, making sure you're adding a block of time where you're not doing a whole bunch of different things. Right? That's really important. So that is huge. Okay, so when it comes to vacation, guys, the number one thing is always plan things out, right? Planning is the key. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's the thing. Now, the re-entry coming back from vacation, that's the other thing too, right? Because we want to make sure that we have a block of time where we just we de-stress, right? Because so many people just want to get back at it, right? Back to the grind, go, 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 go. But there also has to be sort of a de-stress point, right? Where we're like, okay, vacation's over, getting organized, getting back to life, getting back to the real world, kind of getting back into the swing of things. That's the other thing that you guys have to realize is that we always want to look at, transition periods from vacation to real life. How does that work? Are you going to refuel? How are you going to refuel your body? Those are the questions you want to ask. How are you going to protect recovery? Make sure you get the proper sleep. Right? That's the other thing too, is that vacation can be, skimping on sleep, but we don't want to do that, right? We want to make sure we're recovering properly. We're getting our high quality sleep that will help improve our metabolic stability, right? Because if you can't sleep properly, then everything else in your metabolism becomes a little bit more wonkier, okay? And so staying on track, guys, is really easy. And most people make it way too complicated than it needs to be. It's very simple, very easy. It's not too hard. Again, it's very simple, but it's not easy because there's lots of distractions. There's lots of stuff that is happening. There's lots of food around, right? There's lots of restaurants. There's lots of new food. Lots of people get kind of caught off track and thinking, oh, I'm just going to, indulge one day and then that's okay. But, sometimes that one day indulgence leads to 2 or 3 or 4, right? It keeps kind of compounding. Right? And so I think that's really important you guys realize is that, yes, if you're going to go on a vacation, you can have a little bit of time to relax and maybe have a few things that are not on the quote unquote meal plan or meal menu. But you want to make sure that you continue 90% of the time to focus in on those meals, those meal templates for our clients in our system, making sure you print out those meal templates, make sure you follow the meal structure that we have for the metabolic operating system. That's super important. So anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to focus on the next part of this is just telling you guys about the 15-day metabolic reset. Okay, so this is a 15-day system where we've developed a system so that you can follow it so you can better understand how your metabolism works so you can burn fat more efficiently. All right, again, really important to realize that your body, when not forced to lose fat, will be able to lose fat more efficiently. So you don't force fat loss, it happens more naturally, more efficiently. So we don't diet, we don't focus on low calories, we don't focus on restriction, we don't even focus on exercising every single day. We focus on building metabolic stability so your body can actually lose body fat more efficiently. So if you want to actually do that, because August is a great time to do that, you can just click the link underneath this video and you can get a free complimentary access to our 15-day metabolic reset. And you can get access without talking to me even. You can actually get access to our 15-day metabolic reset without even booking a meeting with me. So you can do it just on your own time whenever you want, all right? So make sure you click the link underneath this video to get that started. And guys, I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. to talk about another amazing metabolic focus to help you burn fat more efficiently. All right, until then, guys, let's continue to rebuild your metabolism, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.